John Lee in Nutley, thanks for joining me today. Tell me a little bit about what's happening in your community.
Well, right now I'm standing here in Reinheimer Park. Right over here we got the Belleville border, over there's the Bloomfield border. On a normal spring day, this place would be full of kids. And since our dog park is right here, that place would be full of dogs. Because of coronavirus, the parks are closed in Nutley. As you might be able to see behind me, the equipment is taped off to keep people from gathering here.
In a larger sense, in a more broad sense, what's the mood around town and what else are you experiencing?
Well, right now, I think there's a lot of anticipation because it's been a day since we've had a last update from the Office of Emergency Management. We've been getting daily updates, and each day there's been a lot of new information and new cases. There's a lot of anticipation of people looking for news right now in Nutley. From what we're gathering from people in the town is the craziness in the supermarkets has died down quite a bit. It seems to have normaled out. The local ShopRite now has senior citizen hours that they're having early in the morning to make that group a little bit easier to work with. The food pantry has moved their operations to outdoors. So the people who normally pick up in the building now are going to have an outdoor thing. So there's going to be less confinement of people and there's going to be more spacing available.
As far as the immediate future goes, what's your sense of people's anxiety or people's concerns coming up in the following weeks? We're recording this conversation on Tuesday, the 24th of March. And I think by all accounts, we expect that the pandemic's going to increase in ferocity over the next couple weeks, certainly in New York, and we'll see about New Jersey. But what's your sense of the community's concern coming up in the next few weeks?
Well, I think a lot of people realize that things are not going to change really quickly. Speaking to a lot of the parents in town, they already know that the town-wide Easter egg hunts and those festivities are probably not going to happen. There haven't been any formal announcements about them being canceled yet, but they all know that's going to be the reality of it. We did learn of one group of parents in town who had a virtual dance party the other day, where it's a guy who owns a DJ business. So they set up the speakers and all the kids were about 12 feet apart in the street and they had a block party dance party. So people are learning how to cope with the new reality of the situation in creative ways.
So tell me a little bit about the effect on your TAPinto franchise, TAPinto Nutley. What have you seen as the pandemic has come on in the past few weeks?
Well, of course, more people are visiting the site for updated information every day than we've ever had before. So people know we've got regular news reports coming out. We've got working with our other colleagues across the state for the governor's updates and those sort of things. But we're also hunting out the other news that's going on. We just learned today that the Zimmerly Museum in New Brunswick has a virtual tour going on of their museum. So we're actually going to include that this week in our tourism section, so people can go on a virtual tourism trip across the Garden State. And we're looking for that kind of content so we can have something out there besides just coronavirus all the time.
And a little bit more specifically, I mean, your franchise, TAPinto Nutley, has really been leading the way with page views. I mean, a lot of traffic before the pandemic, and now the entire network seems to be doubling, tripling, quadrupling the amount of daily visitors. What is your perspective on that, coming from really having grown your TAPinto Nutley pages, and now it's really on fire? Give me your perspective on that.
I mean, we know that a large part of the township actually comes to us for their news on a daily basis. And we're clued into what's going on in town. So the local food pantry had to cancel one of their big food drives. So we're actually working with them, and we've got reminders now in each of our news stories about what items are specifically in need. So when people go to the supermarket for themselves, they know to pick something up. Right now, we just got word that soup is running low. So canned soup is going to be in our stories on a regular basis now, so they can rebuild that stock.
And specifically to that kind of information, can people visit TAPinto Nutley and find those stories and find that specific information? Give me a little guidance.
So what we're doing is we will have individual stories about what the food pantry needs, but we're also going to have a footer, almost a footnote on the bottom of each story with an update with a link to where you can find all the latest coronavirus news, as well as a link at the bottom to find out what exactly the food pantry needs right now. But now we've also found out some restaurants who are doing some things to raise some money for the food pantry or the local rescue squad. I just met with some business owners today who are helping the rescue squad, because in Nutley, it's all volunteer and it's all done by fundraising. So local businesses are stepping up. Some of them are pulling money out of their own pocket. Some of them are doing things where if you buy something, a chunk of the sales will go to the rescue squad. So we're going to have news about that this week as well.
And again, we're having this conversation on March 24th, Tuesday, here in 2020. What's your sense of the business climate, and have small businesses starting to really feel the pinch of the stay-at-home order? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the restaurant business definitely did take a hit. It seems to be the pizza places are thriving because they're already set up for takeout. Some of our table restaurants have takeout and delivery. Since we're only into this a week, I've only seen 2 so far reduce their hours, but we expect that number to increase. So there will be more restaurants that have takeout and delivery that'll probably not do it every day of the week. On the retail side, retail is closed in Nutley, so that is definitely going to pinch quite a bit. So I know when we come back from this, it's going to make a lot of work, and we're going to really help join with the Chamber of Commerce and other entities to really push the shop local mantra.
That makes sense. Tell me a little bit about how TAPinto Nutley connects with the local chambers of commerce and small businesses. Tell me a little bit about the landscape of that, including sponsorships and advertising.
Well, we do have a couple advertisers that are coming from the town now. Right now, the ones that were in the works are slightly on hold. It was a lot of, we'll get back to you later, which was no big surprise for us. But we're still staying in touch. We know who's actively working on things, and we're looking to bring that news to the community.
Well, certainly the page views that are happening already are just through the roof, and people are clearly turning to people like you and your team to get the local information and to trust it and to be accurate. So keep up the good work, be careful out there, and we'll connect again like this very soon.
Great talking to you, Brian. Wash your hands and stay away from Betty White.
What's wrong with Betty White? She's not infectious, is she?
No, just don't make her sick. Don't make her sick.
Well, right. We need to keep Betty.
We need to keep
That's
Betty.
right.
Stay away from her.